Good morning, good day. This is February 21st, 2021, and Suraj Singh, civil engineer, speaking from Bharat, India, which is regarding daily talk about engineering profession and quality. Title being Civil Field Engineering Designs, Construction Methods, Contracts, AnnexSL, which is main topic of this talk. Organizations, communication, coordination, quantity including quality, and why should we worry about quality, which is main theme of this talk. Quality, as always, I say and I accept and I do. Quality is inbuilt in quantity. It should be inbuilt in quantity. We cannot say that quality exists automatically in quantity. People assume that, but product does not have quality that it should have. It must have. And if product does not have quality, I think it is cheating with consumers, because whatever payment or charges or cost is paid for product, it is paid for quality integrally. Whatever cost you pay, that must include cost of quality, and if cost does not include quality, there exists no meaning of product. We can say that this is qualityless product and which cannot be used, which cannot perform its intended purpose. So there is no meaning of product. If product is qualityless, I think it is scrap. It's scrap in a sense that it's no use for me or for consumer. Engineering is very wide, we all know. I am inclined to engineering because it is my profession. It has been my profession. I have started my profession in civil engineering, and throughout my life, I was directly involved with civil engineering and interdisciplinary engineering as well. Quality research is very important. Those who do not understand this, they miss it. I cannot blame those who come fresh from university as brand new engineering product. I can't blame them for this, because they are not exposed to practical aspect of engineering life, engineering career. Engineering is widest profession on earth. Widest in a sense that engineering is used for development, and before development for original work. Original work, development, and further modifications. Without engineering, life cannot move. That is also true. No life on earth can move. If we want to stay on earth, we have to stay as might be we have started on origin of earth time. I cannot say there was engineering or there was no engineering, because I do not know and nobody told me what about that time. All stories, but we don't believe in stories. Engineering student believes in. I am a student because I am working in engineering, and everybody is student whole life, even you qualify whatever degree, because engineering study never stops, it continues. Even I am engineer, I am engineering student as well from different aspect. Thinking aspect or following aspect, there are two ways. I believe in thinking and then following what is right. Or I start my own base and start that, do that. Quality is and was both, I can say. It was considered in different modes sometimes. If you go to 40 years, 50 years back, say in 70s, 80s, 90s, quality control was considered engineering and not quality in totality. There is a difference in quality control and quality in totality or total quality. Why do we call it total quality and why do we call it quality controls? We have to understand this point first. Very minimum clarification is required on this, as its article term says clearly. Total quality, which means something is some many items are there which are made total, and you can say existence of all these values lead to total quality. And when I say quality control, means in this total quality there are many stages when tests are conducted. Controls means control of details, controls of complete elaborations, which must be defined somewhere, whether in codes or by convention or whatever you can say. Some checks, some balances, some inspections, some tests, etc. are required for that purpose. So if you can say quality control is inbuilt in total quality, nothing is incorrect about that statement. Total quality, when I call quality of process. Process means whatever we do in engineering, whatever product we deliver, that product has history in engineering profession or career or in that process, and total from where we started that and through what processes it passed through and then delivered. This is all called processing or total total kind of project. Project I am calling it because until production and delivery it is project. It is named project, and once delivery is done, it does not have title of project, but it becomes operational product. Means, for example, a factory that manufactures something and continues that process that continuously. A power station delivers supplies, and you can say whatever. So until that construction is done, that product is building or structure or factory or industry, until that is produced, it is called the project. And once it comes into operation forever, permanently, that is called operation, or you can say operatives, or you can say operator. Means status of project stands dissolved and operation comes into picture. Quality criteria in both are different. When we say it is project, quality criteria is about design and construction, and when you say no, a project is delivered, it's not question of operation. This means continuation of production, and that's all called operational management or factory or industrial management, which is permanent and cannot change. So there is no meaning to call that project because project is over. That is different project, production project, nothing to do with design and construction project. There are different designs and products and everything, but that's part which comes under manufacturing. When I am saying total quality management, I talk of quality that is to be inculcated, that is to be inserted into whole overall process. That quality which includes quality controls at all levels and administrative controls at all levels, organization control at all levels, managerial controls at all levels, educational controls or training controls at all levels, modification controls at all levels, research controls at all levels, financial controls at all levels, and which must be kept continuously without any break. This means there is no one control, there is a list of control, and that list I can't say here. Many controls depending on what type of project we deal in. And what is project? Question arises then. What is difference between a project and operative or operational? Project, because itself a project means you have certain duration of that. Project cannot move forever. There is date of start or commencement and date of completion. And within project itself, there are many sub projects. So for the junior level project, we can say feasibility report project. We can say, of course, we can say field project, or we can say bidding project, or we can say before bidding design project, bidding project, and we can say construction project. Like that, you can say from start of feasibility report when there is nothing. Some idea comes to some mind that we should do something for industrial development or society development. So that feasibility project which goes on to budgetary project, both are linked because feasibility is possible but budget should be there, which is a financial part. And then we can say field, which is what we want to do. And if you want to do something, how we should do technically, engineering wise, which is supported by field, which is explained by field project. And once field is designed, for your explanation I am giving you information. Field means FEED, front end engineering design it's called in full form. And it goes down to designs. Then another project is very long project, complete designs, and which include designs of all disciplines, sub-disciplines, architectural, structural, civil, electrical, mechanical, services, and all nowadays all advanced technologies that are coming and pouring in. That project I'm calling, and then which is design project, and then quantification project. You may say there's a part of design, let us say a quantification project, or you can say formation of bid documents, and we can then further go on down to post bid document. We can say bid documents or tender documents, and then after doing negotiations and everything or opening bids and that, we can say contract is reached, and that's called contract documents. And then you can say construction starts. Construction duration may be whatever, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 years, whatever number your years. That is construction project. Means there is a start and there is end, and then you can say maintenance, etc. And then comes operation stage. So how many projects you can see here? Everyone has some date of start. You have to say feasibility report, there must be date of start of allotment of feasibility report and submission of that report, there is another date. So that duration is for that project. Similarly, the duration for budgetary project and for field project and for design project, and for you can say bidding project, or you can say tendering project, or you can say contract documentation, or you can say physical construction. Like this, we have to do so many projects, sub projects within main prime project. So you can see how long journey it is. It looks only at sight, people see, oh, this building is under construction, this flyover is under construction, but people don't know what is behind that. Now people know something, those who are educated. Otherwise, it's like a film. You go to see a film, oh, this is hero, this is heroine, this is very nice. But people did not know what was behind that structural arrangements of story writing, direction, photography, all that. So much work. But even film is called a project, or you can say there are so many social projects in life, this project and that project, health project or non-health project, or there are so many things you can say. We have to develop this, we have to develop that. So there is no limit of projects, but I am talking of very expensive projects, and that are civil engineering projects which are used in every country for society, for economies, and without which nothing moves in. We have to take into consideration this point of projects, and until we understand that, we cannot understand what is quantity and what is quality. Well, general public is not involved, is not very much interested in knowing about budgetary provision or feasibility report or feed or designs, which are very high level documentation and work. But when you say till design, even consider design, people understand something. Then contracting, people can understand something, or bidding, people can understand something. When you go to construction, everybody understands. And everybody is interested in good construction, in quality construction, otherwise for them it's all corruption. That's true. Corruption does not mean stealing money, corruption means stealing quality as well. When I define corruption, I can say it's corruption of system. It's not simply corruption of money. Corruption of finance is corruption of system. So even 1% lapse in your quality, process of quality, it's a part of quality. Yes, ignorance is something else. I'm not referring to ignorance. Ignorance is available everywhere. But why ignorance? Question arises. Why should there be ignorance? When we employ professionals, we employ experts are everywhere. Why should there be ignorance? This means those professionals who are not 100% educated or experienced, they may cause error. So those professionals are lacking quality in profession, I can say. It may be engineers, it may be supervisors, or it may be managers. Whoever work there, they must be expert and they must be attentive all time. You see, why can we pass excuse based on ignorance? We cannot accept that, because we are professionals and we have been taught, we have been educated, we have been trained. Okay, during learning time, accept, during learning time we can accept errors because it's part of learning. Without knowing errors, we do not know what's right or what's wrong. Errors teach us that's also a point. Errors teach us, and without errors, we cannot learn. But when we start working as independent professionals or responsible professionals, in whatever capacity where responsibility counts, accountability counts, obligation counts, where all these points count, there's no question of ignorance or carelessness until we sleep in work. Sleep on work. Sleeping does not mean sleeping physically. This means mind sleeps. Mind doesn't remain attentive or doesn't remain concentrated all time, which is requirement of profession. Particularly civil engineering requires very much concentration, because we in this branch of engineering deal with all original natural materials and not finished materials, you can say. It is only branch of engineering, civil engineering, in which all natural materials are used directly, and only limited materials like produced product of steel or finishing items where we can say we use procured products, but in otherwise structural activities we used all natural inbuilt natural materials. We include them for permanent inclusion. Permanent inclusion means forever it is inserted onto project, whereas temporary works are also there, preparatory works are also there. Temporary works are withdrawn from site when permanent works are done, and preparatory works for permanent works are withdrawn when permanent works are done. It's sequence like that. Try to understand. I'm saying I'm saying temporary works, which example is say scaffolding, say temporary access, or say temporary water supply, temporary electric supply, temporary offices. There's nothing to do with these items for preparation for workers camp, your residence as engineer, supervisor or worker, and site offices. These are all temporary arrangements which have to be removed. And then there is another kind of these are not directly related to permanent works. And when you say permanent works means which must have a relation with preparatory works, because we have to work for some permanent item, and that must be supported by preparatory items because we have to prepare something for producing permanent work. So that permanent work is based on the preparatory works. So preparatory works are withdrawn from permanent works. So sequence is like that: temporary work is done, which is withdrawn once preparatory work is over, and preparatory work is withdrawn when your permanent work is over. Examples I can give, as I said, temporary. I have explained to you temporary. Then you go to preparatory works. For example, you can say you can say scaffolding system, supporting system for RCC slab or column or whatever. And you can say plywood fixing and metals fixing, timber fixing, and all arrangements on which complete work is done. And then permanent work on the steel cutting and bending, and then concreting, electrical work and all that. So those which would remain on site forever, those are called permanent works, and supports to which permanent work doing are these preparatory works. So it's a sequence: temporary work, preparatory work, and permanent work. So all these come under ambit of project. This comes under ambit of project, and payment is made for permanent work, but which includes payment for all these temporary works and preparatory works. So we have to analyze everything in different mode. If we cannot analyze, we cannot understand. Everything cannot come from books. 80% of engineering comes from experience. 20% theory is used, and because I'm saying 20%, all subjects can't be studied. Can't be studied in field, you can say. You studied about 30 to 40 subjects in engineering, and all of which were different branches, different subdisciplines. For example, water supply engineering, public health engineering, environment engineering, road and bridges and flyovers and railways, and so many more. But construction subjects were very common, surveying was very common, and you can say geology was very common. Where you have to understand that about 70% subjects are not used in life, because you enter one discipline, then you have to stay in that discipline for decades to come. If you want to call yourself expert, or if you want to learn engineering cannot be learned in 4 or 5 years of university, even though you pass a post-university degree, post-graduation, and then doctorate. It cannot equip you with that knowledge, which is real knowledge, and which is required with complete understanding of theory and practical, or you can say theory and application of theory. So whole life is invested with power of learning, and experience means real experience, not paper experience. You should know what is right, what's not right, and you should Analyze based on your own learning, and that analysis is very important point. I'm not saying, I'm not degrading educational level, but there's a limit in education. You have to study for 4 year, 5 year, 6 year, 7 year, 8 year. That's enough. Means you can't go beyond that. For what, Because whatever you learn from books only, and books are not masterpieces. Books are not final answers to complicated problems. And those are written by certain people only, those are not written by professionals. Very few books are available that professionals have written or published based on experience. I didn't find in my career. Certain books are written only by those who are professors, or very little books are written by, real engineers. Means engineering books are not written by engineers, by those who are educators. And educators don't educate practicality, because they themselves are not exposed to practical environment of engineering, and particularly in civil engineering. Fieldwork is altogether, you know, wider than academics educational work. We learn a lot of theories and lot of formula, a lot of derivation, empiricalism, a lot of studies done in theories and in practical and tutorials and surveying and construction. Elsewhere, and hundreds of sketches are learned. But those are to develop mind and not to develop your career. You can say that passing an engineering degree is just a gateway to engineering. It's nothing more than that, because you are expected that after passing engineering degree you can understand engineering. That's only that's only criteria, based on what intelligence you used during your studies, what level of concentration you provided to yourself in that time. Means you were not 100% there, that's also true, and you are not 10%, that's also true, because pass mark vary from somewhere 35 to 50 to 100, and nobody is 100 and nobody is 30. So there's a grade, you can say, a range of your concentration of mind. But that was academics time, educational time. That time cannot be considered applicable all over your career. That time everybody is young, everybody was young, I was young too. When you were at age of 22 or 21, you pass out as an engineering degree holder. That time is, you just could not imagine what was engineering. Even you pass ME or PhD, you won't even realize what is engineering until you are beaten in field. Beaten means mentally. Beaten means you are surprised when you see practical world and you compare it to your educational levels, and you find that you learn nothing actually. Because engineering is such an industry that moves from field to universities. Experience moves from field to universities and not otherwise. That's what is engineering about. Engineering is something like that. Means you have to think yourself and build yourself, build your character, build your personality, build your mind, build your status, and you are then only called a professional, not because of your education only. Yes, for social value, for market value, for many other kinds of values, we say I am this and I am that. That's okay, that's fine. Nobody is challenging that one, that you are a professional and you must be given full regard. Nobody minds that. That is your right. But when we talk of professional means, if you open dictionary and see meaning of professional, you will find a person who has got advanced knowledge, in-depth knowledge in professional. I'm not saying you are not professional when you come out of university. You are professionally qualified. But to become real professional, you need at least, depending on your caliber, a number of years of work experience, because engineering work cannot be done rightly if engineering is not included in that. You cannot call work done as layman work or work done by a person who knows nothing about engineering, but that person works in engineering field and spoils everything. In that case, you learn something spoiled. You cannot say whatever is done in field is engineering basis. In field, so much is done without controls, without supervisions. That cannot be called engineering product. So you must have opportunity. You must be given opportunity to work in which point I find these days is missing element. No, our youth do not have patience. Unfortunately, not only our youth, I think why they want immediately cooked items. They don't want to spend time on that. And engineering requires your presence, your time. If you are present in engineering, you should be mentally present, you should be physically present. If you want immediate answers, then you can never learn. Remember. Keep in mind, in beginning of your learning, you may take more time to understand something, to analyze something. But remember, first time it's always more devotion. But when you start doing that, start learning, it will take you very little time later on. But if you make a habit that no, I want shortcut, I want immediate answer, you will have a habit that you want initiate yourself, you want involve yourself in original work or original thinking. And remember, it is thinking that is developed, engineering thinking. It's not social thinking. It's engineering thinking that is developed. And that thinking once developed, then you can move yourself on your own without even referring to obsolete books. I can say obsolete books. Because those books are written later on, and engineering, field engineering is developed much before then books are written. But for students it's okay because they get something. But when a student after passing engineering goes to field, if that person is not involved in some business or some activity, otherwise that person has to learn a lot. And do not consider that those working class people or those artisans we use in field are illiterate. Do not think that, because our measurement of illiterate is whether you are going to school or you are not going to school. Give them food forever. And if you see education in otherwise in West countries, you will find difference. Those people do not feel any shame doing something themselves, using hammer or screwdriver, using hacksaw or something. Means drill. They are taught like that. So you can say they are taught technician level subjects, whereas we are taught boss level subjects, white collar subjects. That's a difference. Example is civil services examination in country are considered much higher than everything else. While it's nothing. Engineering is higher than that. Medical is higher than that. But people have a misconception, and that misconception leads our engineers, our doctors. Civil services examination. So our but our system products our educated youth do not have that caliber, unfortunately. Well, I am not going to claim something on that, but my talk is about quality, and all these points count in quality. When I say, are you able to think? And if your answer is a very little, then better get out of engineering, I would say. Don't waste time, don't be burden on engineering yourself. If you are not having any aptitude to think, how could you pass engineering? I don't understand. Because without thinking, one cannot become engineer or one can become doctor. If you think you are just a machine of engineering or medical, then you are not doing justice. You don't do justice to yourself. You are a machine, but you are not machine for someone. You are a machine for yourself. You are a thinking machine. You should be a thinking machine rather than product machine. Because engineering time I think, third time I think, fourth time I think, in a sequence of thinking you will find every thinking stage is different. It's renewed first, later on, and it changes its previous meaning also in many cases. That's what I think we should learn. Engineering does, every person has to learn it in field and compare it with what is learned in field and what was learned in your institution. That is very important. After doing 2 3 projects, you yourself shall find that whatever you learn in field is much more significant than exclusive theory, which is also important, that you learned in your university. So I say, if you want to really understand what is quality, what is skill, and what are subjects of engineering, then you have to rethink. Don't keep pride in yourself that you are a graduate engineer or a postgraduate engineer or whatever. That pride is linked to academics only, not to real world. Real world is very different, because you will find those in majority who are not qualified technically. They know job, they know everything, they know mastery, they know something which we can't even think of. That is called jugaad in our country. They can do that. They can arrange, they can manage problems to solution. But engineering is not that alone. I as engineer think that I do everything innovative. I think so I should do. Because speed is required, but at which time? When you are clear about that, you can run yourself, you can run those products if you know about that. And that process of knowing, that process of producing, and that process of also using, all come under ambit of engineering. I am just trying to disseminate, trying to suggest to you guys that engineering is not what you think is engineering. Engineering has very many miles, many times wider meaning than what we think it is. It's not simply building construction or infrastructure construction or whatever else it should be, industrial factory construction. It's not that alone. Something behind that, something supporting that is important. And natural support is required, human support is required, machinery support is required, all are required, transportation is required. All these elements or components are required in engineering, without which engineering cannot move. We deal with materials, we deal with human resources, we deal with equipment, and we deal with whatever is not defined here. So we are talking of quality. Again I am saying, Quality of thinking is very important. If you cannot think, you are not having any quality. Cramming is no use in engineering. Reading books and thinking with voice, I'm reading this, means you are reading, but this is not engineering. Until you do something, you deliver something for someone, it's called engineering. Thinking is, you can say, unit process of engineering. I spoke about this many times, but facts are facts. Doing a small excavation foundation in that without any criteria is not engineering. Excavating and doing foundation and backfill, that's not engineering. Until we have thorough understanding, thorough observation of empirical values, we cannot define engineering. So we have to be very clear about that, what we talk about. What we talk, why do we talk that one? That's very important point. So here my yesterday's talk was about RCC construction, RCC buildings construction. Now that was over yesterday, in which we talked of about complete system. Complete system we talked about, and that was very much useful, though it is it's very small pages I built for that. And also this one, which is, I'm calling it AnnexSL, is supervising management RCC buildings construction template. This is only my thought, means I'm not claiming anything on this template except that I am using format given by ISO, and that is AnnexSL ISO 9001 2015. QMS is Quality Management System, Supervising Management RCC Buildings Construction. I am taking this first because I thought that I should take EPC later on, because this is also very important point, which is generally is being produced for consultancy companies, those who are used in supervising as well as surveillance, and for those even contract suppliers who are there, site engineers, foremen, general foremen, and many more who are involved in supervisions of works done by others or through other drawings. Long talk, if it is useful to people, must be made. Quality system and quality are actually not working to what they should do. Just giving certain book or just doing some mechanism, these do not match anything. When we say quality, I mean to say quantity. Quantity plus quality is equal to product standard. What quality should be there, what quantity should be there, that cannot be defined. It depends upon each product. But quality must be incorporated into production. If we cannot do that, you cannot call that your product is engineering one. Your product is not engineering one because you are not working. You are not even interested to see someone has some problem and you come on your own from office and go back to office. So that is called lack of quality. If you are not able to fulfill your procedures, that is lapse of quality, because whatever procedures we define, we have to implement them. If you implement them, So then points come in how to make sure that we work qualitatively. That point must be well understood. When I'm talking of supervision management or supervising management, what does it mean first of all? Supervision. Supervision of works is done by someone, and who is that someone? Point comes in. You cannot go yourself because you are sick. I am sick too, and I can't say. This talk of quality is very high level talk because it is for those who who do not work directly on construction, but they watch construction activities and make sure that whatever is to be done is being done. Whatever is done has to be done, and they must have guidelines, they must have aspect that engineering exists. Everything cannot be defined on plain papers. Understanding can be developed, and that understanding is required in engineering. Engineering cannot be copied, cannot be crammed. It's only language, engineering language you can say, or construction language, which can be understood, but but you can't say that that's everything. AnnexSL, supervision management or supervising management, RCC buildings construction, and this is what template is about. Now, as usual, we say supervising management, building construction. An organization, an organization adopts a management system to take care of comfortably achieving its set objectives, which being in this case supervising management RCC buildings construction. I repeat this as start one, starting paragraph. An organization, I'm saying organization, an organization adopts a management system. An organization adopts a management system, you can say, or organization system itself, or you can say whatever system, to take care of comfortably achieving its set objectives, which being in this case supervising management RCC buildings construction. What's the objective? Supervising management RCC buildings construction. This can be name of a company, an organization, or ourselves. So we can say organization adopts a system, to control system you may say, or management system you may say, or whatever we can say, to break down in action. Quality system must be taken very seriously. We cannot ignore this. If we ignore this, we ignore ourselves. This organization system or management system comprises various sets of procedures. Various sets of procedures for charting out and implementing various operations or activities so as to successfully reach its intended objectives, which lead to enhanced use of resources, indicating use. uh, Skill and quality are very much related. As much quality do you learn, it's part of skill. Very much part of skill. And skill means learning, development of learning skills. And if you are free, stay I am. Format of quality, that is AnnexSL, which actually is a format of structure of your system. You make money because of that. That also, yeah. It could be, you know, the management system comprises various sets of procedures for charting out and implementing various operations or activities so as to successfully reach its intended objectives, which lead to enhanced use of resources, improvement on risk management, and increased customer satisfaction by meeting product or services expectations. In this case, product is supervising management, RCC buildings construction. Organizations do work on various management systems, say quality management system or environment management system, or you can say site management system. You know, you can say that organizations do work on various management systems, as I said, environment, safety, quality, all three systems apply in this case directly as well as indirectly. These various systems in line to ISO 9001-2008 used to work on varying management structures, causing inconvenience to interface, causing inconvenience to interface with each other. But now these issues be dealt with and as framed in a common template. AnnexSL, being a high level management system, has produced a common platform so as all systems that organization adopts can be withdrawn and assessed. You know, you can say again, AnnexSL being a high level management system or organization system that has produced a common platform so as all systems and organizations work according to this requirement. A labor organization not. Uh, we can say we can say such arrangement provides many commonalities in designs, system implementation, monitoring, evaluation, and improvement. By trying to eliminate purchase and industry gases. Yeah. Yeah. So we can say such arrangement such arrangement provides many commonalities in designing system implementation, monitoring, evaluation, and improvement. By trying to eliminate conflicts that were responsible. Because that we have to see that AnnexSL being high level management system that has produced a common platform whereas all systems that organization adopts can be withdrawn based on platform on AnnexSL. All executions. 50, 50, 60, 70, 80. How many conditions do you want to apply? You have to apply. So you can say supervising management RCC buildings construction can be easily defined within its format. Such such arrangement provides many commonalities. We know that. So all management systems shall have single high level identical code text with common terms and definitions which can be defined, shall be explained within AnnexSL. High level structure cannot be changed. That's first consideration. Like, we'll see what is that. I'm just telling you scope, for example, is number one. Similarly, whole 10 days life left on him. Uh, High level structure cannot be changed, but disciplines specifics of clauses can be both added or changed. As such, additions may be made where required related to supervising management, RCC buildings, instruction. AnnexSL applies to all management systems, standards publicly available, specifications and technical specifications, as well as customized requirements. See, we say AnnexSL applies to all management systems, standards publicly available, specifications and technical specifications, as well as customized requirements. We can say revised ISO 9001, 14001, 45001 shall all based on AnnexSL. This is AnnexSL high level supervised level operation. Then we will further go and we say that though not included here in AnnexSL ISO 9001, template shown below is only for indicative guidance to apprise an engineer how new system adopted by ISO effective September 2015. Work to produce engineer. Now, AnnexSL template shown below is only for indicative guidance to apprise engineer how new system adopted by ISI, what to produce organizational prime quality document which shall govern whole organizational quality process. This AnnexSL template shown below is only for indicative guidance to apprise an engineer about how to make it effective. It says work to produce a national prime quality document which shall govern whole organization quality type process required by business. Adding, adding that, adding can say accountability shareable by business and technical leaders. Whenever or wherever whatever requirements demand, items can be added or sub clauses, but no deletions can be made. work to produce organizational prime quality document which shall govern whole organization. Quality organization can say quality process required by business, adding accountability shareable by business and technocratic leaders. Wherever and whatever requirements demand, items can be added as subdomain clauses, but no deletions can be made. You can say purpose of this template is just to project quality track demanded by ISO 9001-2015 system, which is a mandate published by ISO, and without which application all existing ISO 9001-2008 registered certifications shall stand invalid after 3 years of this. This AnnexSL SL adoption is a must for new quality system opening globally. Now, supervising management, RCC buildings construction. We have same clauses, 10 clauses, starting with clause 1, that is scope. It includes outcome of management system, which are industry specific and should be aligned with clause 4 context of organization. Now AnnexSL clause 1, which is supervising management RCC buildings construction from commencement to completion stages. This is content scope only on construction, supervising management RCC buildings construction from commencement to completion stages. Construction prosecuted by owner, appointed contracting organizations, including subcontractors. Then delivery of design and installation. Now, what we say, it says mainly delivery of design and specification wise compliant completed building under certification of completion per contact documents and regulations. So there are three types of scope in this. You say as number one, supervising management tasks buildings construction from commencement to completion stages, and you can say construction from commencement to completion stage, construction prosecuted by owner appointed contracting organization, including subcontractors, and delivery of designs and specifications. Wise compliant completed building under certification of completion per contract documents and regulations. Now, class 2, that is normative references. Normative references, you can say service contract between supervising manager or consultant and owner. That is reference, you can say. Contract between owner and contractor, that is another reference. Then ISO 9001-2015 contractors organization document, that's also a reference. Project schedule is a reference. All designs and disciplines, all reference. All working and shop drawings, all disciplines, all other contract documents, all specifications within contract, all testing references, all as-built drawings and references, all materials and other items. These are direct references on project. There may be more, but these are very important ones, which we can say a long list can be drawn, but why to just understanding here is when you make your own, it's better to include all. Now, supporting references, that was original one, that was not supporting one, but there's a devised one. Now, supporting references, which are, you can say Euro, ACI, IS codes, and various national annexes and national defined formats, parameters, NDFs, PDs, nationally defined parameters, and published documents. You can say in EN 1990-2002 basis of designs, this is Euro references. EN 1991 2002, that is actions. You can say EN 1991 2002, that is action by fire. Similarly, EN 1991 2003, action by snow. EN 1991 2005, action by wind. EN 1991 2003, action by thermal energy, thermal. EN 1991 2005, action by execution. Then EN 1991 2006, action by accidents. Then EN 1992 2004, design concrete. EN 1992 2004, design concrete structural fire, etc. BS and EN 1990 2005, etc. ACI 318, etc. IS code 456 2000, etc. NBC 2005, building bylaws related to area of site, and many more. It's just a list. Now, clause 3. Clause 3, terms and definitions. It says, including detailed terms and definitions applicable to particular specific standard and addition to format. to format related terms and conditions. To be included in AnnexSL template, and we have to think of this. And what could be control references, you can say, in these terms and definitions. Control references, daily progress report on status. We are talking of controls. That is daily progress report or status. Memos to contractor, technical clarification, engineering clarification, contractual clarification, request for inspection, journal items, request for inspection, concrete pours, non-compliance report, material approval request, drawing approval request, temporary works, preparatory works, permanent works, construction method statements, standard working designs or details, quality management statements including check lists and ITPs, safety management documents including safety induction, training, upkeep and surveillance, fire prevention and suppression. These are, you can say, control references which are really important. I repeat, daily progress report, which we usually call DPR, right? Or status, you can say. Memos to contractors, side memos. Technical clarification means, when there is some error or some confusion, non-clarity in drawings or in specifications or together, a question can be raised for clarification. What does, which one is best and which is used for this, which one is right one for reference. You can say engineering clarification also on a higher level where there is a design error or something, you can say it's not clear, then this can be used in engineering clarification status. And then contractual clarification also is required if there is some contractual question. Oh, it is rarely, but before contract is done, contract is executed, this can be used. Then you can say request for inspection, journal items. Inspections are conducted for all items on project, and particularly supervisor or supervisor consultants are responsible in addition to quality people, contractors quality people, concerns quality people can be used, can be engaged for purpose of inspections. And these inspections are general, there's non-concrete inspections, and other one is pores, because for every pore you have to conduct a detailed inspection. So detailed general inspections and detailed concrete inspections. Concrete pore inspections means during pour and before that inspections were preparatory works. Then non-compliance report, NCR we call it, which means there is a problem, contractor could not comply with legal requirements or technical requirements when is brought to knowledge of engineers. It cannot be termed as compliant report. All activities must comply with requirements of contract. Material approval request. Now, what is material approval request? Material approval request very much significant part of contracts. Yes, it's up to honor what is material approval and what is honor. What it means for. So you can say material approval request was stocking is very important part. Material approvals, because it's not in your hands to permanently include material of your choice. It's material of contract choice or material of owner's choice. After all, it's owner's project. Job of engineers is to recommend for submission. Yeah, yeah. So we can say material approval request, which material you have to employ and what is given in list of materials, or not given in list of materials, what specification requires, what description requires. There could be many similar materials and we have to make submission based on whatever profit this company can move. Yeah. So whatever list or no list specifications and requirements, we have to select, we have to propose, and also see price in market. And so this point of material approval request is very long time consuming, because all materials are required to be proposed to engineer, and engineer doesn't know. So it is, you can say, material approval request, drawing approval request. Same thing applies to drawings. Drawings means design drawings, though in this case design drawings are rarely delivered by contractor, can be or cannot be both cases. And shop drawings, working drawings, which are prepared and submitted by contractor from subcontractors, repair subcontractors, and these drawings, shop drawing and working drawings are based on schematic drawings or contract drawings. These contract drawings require something according to specifications, services bylaws, regulations. These drawings are in capacity of shop drawing and working drawings produced and approved by engineer and regional engineer both, which are used for work. So this is that category of drawing. Then we say temporary works, as I already explained, works supporting preparatory works and all safety measures to be taken care of in those temporary works. Then preparatory works. Preparatory works are those which support permanent works, and permanent works, which are paid, which remains included on site forever. This is permanent works. And then construction method statements, that is very considerable job, specific job. Construction method statements. No work can be done without availability of approved construction method statements. There could be many statements on one project. Projects means from excavation or from surveying or from mobilization to final handover of projects. There would be more than 100 construction method statements. In activity based, you can say test based, whatever type, called construction method statements, which is a part of quality system. These we will discuss when we come to method statement chapter. Then standard working designs or details. Working standard designs are available on every project, which construction details are repeated on various locations, and standard drawings are done, and those references are used repetitively. Standard working drawings, designs and details. Then after, quality management statements, including checklists and ITPs, which is known as inspection and testing plans. Then safety management documents, including safety induction, training, upkeep and surveillance, fire prevention and suppression. Now, these are main references, these are main points, main points here. Then supporting references are, which are, we can say, let us say excavation, soil testing on site, soil improvements, blinding, concrete protection, waterproofing, below ground and above ground, cast in situ concrete, form work, reinforcement fabrication, reinforcement placement, precast, pre-stressed concrete if included, concrete glass, concrete glass, reinforcement grade, soil backfill, piping, concrete block walls, roofing, plastering, rendering, flooring, doors, windows, ironmongery, kitchens, wet areas, finishes, special items, testing and commissioning, design, estimated quantities, issued for information drawings, issued for building permit drawings, issued for construction drawings, revised designs, national annexes, nationally determined parameters, published documents, and all other necessary definitions. These are important segments. Then we can say clause 4, which is context of organization, which is real, actually this is real content of Annex SL, which tells what this organization has to do. It should include understanding organization and its context, understanding needs and expectation of parties, determining scope of management system or organization system, and points for consideration. Why organization does exist or is there, identify internal and external issue that impact intended outcome, interested parties and their requirements, define scope or set boundaries or management system, raise employees awareness and involvement. These are very little but can be explained further, can be more than this. Now what actually we talk of? We talk of this organization. We talk of this organization which intends to serve public by providing dedicated teams for building related site works, engineering supervision for getting best possible product, works, deliveries related to RCC buildings. This is sole purpose of this organization or one of purpose. One of purpose, I repeat, this organization intends to serve public by providing dedicated teams for building related site works, engineering supervision for getting best possible product, works, deliveries related to RCC buildings, because we are talking supervision, so it is only here it's saying team, supervision team, production against the supervision team shall be delivered for that purpose. Intend to help public avail benefits of best technical know-how regarding RCC buildings, either directly to owner of building or to professional architect appointed by building's owner, or to end user, or to all stakeholders as case may be. Organization is a small group of technocrats, this is supervisory team, but with high level profile backup of engineering supervision, management attainment. Organization is capable to augment its strength. Organization is capable to augment its strength, all disciplines pertinent, supervising experts as and when required. Organization understands that it is its professional, national, and social responsibility. Organization understands that it is its professional, national, and social responsibility to contemplate, analyze, consider, and reconsider to produce best and fittest degree of works. Supervision at economical and sustainable ecological cost, forcing keeping site tidy, safe in all respects, and help to avoid inconvenience to public. Organization understands that product and user expects best sustainable economically, ecologically, and within acceptable criteria, graded with quality controlled product. All such all such operations that can assist site work with minimum efforts and maximum benefits. Organizational leader ensures that it will understand it well understands requirements mandated by laws, regulations, contract documents, good industrial practices, honor architects and others. Internal issues are references to mandatory and advisory practice, national and international codes, prosecution requirements. External issues are site coordination with statutory and government authorities, appointed architects and owner representatives, as well as direct and indirect impact group, which need be taken care of. Organization leader make sure that there should be no delay on conducting work supervision schedule, which works if delayed shall mar site prosecution and impose on consequential delays on project completion. Inclusion. You can say organization needs to make sure that there should be no delay on conducting work supervision schedule, which works, if delayed, shall mar site prosecution and impose on consequential delays on project completion. Management scope determined to be limited from project requirement study, contract review study, ensuring contract requirements are complied with in every respect, ensuring that contractor's agent and its staff on project site understands important contract provisions so as not to mar work progress due to misunderstanding involved due to whatever such provisions. Ensuring that contractor operates all necessary contract provisions prior to relevant operations are adversely impacted. Then ensure the contractor operates all necessary contract provisions prior to relevant operations are adversely impacted. Ensuring that all relevant required formats have been issued to contractor which shall be used as cover to forward various proposals and submissions to supervising managers or resident engineer. Architectural design review study, structural design review study, structural design coordination, building allied services coordination, meeting regulatory provisions directly or through contractor, depending on contract provisions, review all shop and working drawings produced by contractor, all disciplines drawings coordination, issue contractors raised queries, clarifications as when necessary, approve resolutions related to disciplinary clashes with other disciplines, site coordination with other professional vendors through contractor, for example HVAC, electrical, loss prevention, access controls, security elevator and escalator, electronic security vendors, etc. Conducting all site progress meetings, issuing minutes of progress meetings, reviewing contractor conducted subcontractors coordination meetings, reviewing contractor submitted construction method statements and approving such statements to accomplish foregoing management activities scope. Just hold on please, I'll be back in a minute. this was the supervisory statements. What supervisors are required to do is a very important point here, which you must. It's very important from an engineering point of view. You can say supervision, which costs a lot and must be cared a lot, because it is experts team of engineers, experts engineers team. It says to accomplish foregoing management activities. This we have discussed. Activities, you can say, we discussed these, we discussed, and according to ISO 9001-2005 very well, support the application for permits to operator for operator of area for road diversions, closure, cold and hot water permits, etc. to be applied with and operated for such works. Just like it said, certain points in last point, that was, I just repeat for in 11, that is point management scope determined to be limited from project requirement study, contract review study, ensuring contract requirements are complied with in every respect, ensuring that contractors, agents and its staff on project site understands important contract provisions so as not to mar progress due to misunderstanding involved due to whatever such provisions, ensuring the contractor operates all necessary contract provisions prior to relevant operations are adversely impacted, ensuring that all relevant required formats have been issued to contractor, which shall be used to discover to forward various proposals and submissions to supervision manager, supervising manager, or resident engineer or engineer, architectural designs review study, structural designs review study, structural designs coordination, building allied services coordination, meeting regulatory provisions directly or through contractor depending on contract provisions, review all shop and working drawings, product produced by contractor, all disciplines drawings coordination, issue contractor risk various clarifications as and when necessary, approve resolution related to disciplinary clashes with other disciplines, site coordination with other professional vendors through contractor, for example HVAC, electrical loss prevention, access controls, security elevator and escalator, electronics, security vendors, conducting all site progress meetings, issuing minutes of progress meeting, reviewing contractors conducted subcontractors coordination meeting, reviewing contractors submitted construction method statements and approving such statements to accomplish foregoing management activities scope. ISO 9001-2015 variable support application for permits to operator of area for road diversion, closure, cold and hot work permits, etc. to be applied with and operated for all such works. All such works shall be susceptible to ensuring safety compliance under relevant management system. All such operations shall be monitored, measured, evaluated and placed in for further improvement in all cases. All our involved personnel shall be put into stream of safety training as well as when required on site to be conducted by experts. All our involved personnel shall be put in system training from time to time and would be required to update adopted system and also requested to submit their experience based suggestions for improvement. All personnel shall be advised to understand whole system so as not to miss any activity on supervision of RCC building projects. Text of organization, context of organization means, let's repeat this, refresh it for further clarification, because this is very important part, this annex in this context for supervision. which says this organization intends to serve public, means this organization is not going to serve the public service. Of course, every group, every expert serves public by providing dedicated team. Dedicated stands for full-time team, and providing dedicated teams for building related site works. Building related site works. This team is there. Building related site works, engineering supervision for getting best possible product, or works, deliveries related to RCC buildings. Intend to help public avail benefits of best technical knowledge regarding RCC buildings, because these are all team members who must have long and expert experience of construction, design, and all relevant subjects, either directly to owner of building or to professional architect, or appointed by building owner, or to end user, or also to other stakeholders as case may be, because ultimately someone is going to use product at end. All are stakeholder, known or unknown. Organization is a small group because this is supervisory group, for depending on what type of building, what size of building, and accordingly how many members are there in that team, it depends. Or there will be many projects looked after by one team, that is also possible. Organization is a small group of technocrats but with high level profile backup of engineering, supervision, management, attainment. Organization is capable to augment its strength all disciplines, pertinent supervising experts as and when required. Organization understands that its professional, national and social responsibility to contemplate, analyze, consider and reconsider to produce best and fittest degree of works, supervision at economical and sustainable ecological cost, forcing keeping site tidy, safe in all respects, and help to avoid inconvenience to public. Organization understands, means what we are saying, this organization understands that product and user expects best sustainable economically, ecologically and within acceptable criteria, graded with quality controlled product, all such operations that can assist site work with minimum efforts and maximum benefits. Organizational leader ensures that it well understands requirements mandated by law, regulations, contract documents, good industrial practices, honor architect and others. Internal issues are references to mandatory and advisory practice, national and international codes, prosecution requirements. External issues are site coordination with statutory and government authorities, appointed architects and owner representatives, as well as direct and indirect impact groups, which need be taken care of. Organization leader make sure that there should be no delay on conducting work supervision. Schedule which works, if delayed, shall mar site prosecution and impose consequential delays on project completion. Management scope determined to be limited from. Now, project requirement study you have to do. Project requirement study. It may do contract review study One is project requirement study, then contract review study, then ensuring contract requirements are complied with in every respect, which is very important part of this team's responsibility. Ensuring that contractors agent contracts agents and its staff on project site understands important contract provisions so as not to mar work progress due to misunderstanding evolved because of whatever such provisions. Ensuring that contractor operates all necessary contract provisions prior to relevant operations are adversely impacted upon. Ensuring that all relevant required formats have been issued to contractor which shall be used as cover to forward various proposals, as cover page I should say, to forward various proposals and submission to supervising manager or resident engineer or engineer. Architectural designs review study, that is very much important part, and structural design review study also very important part, and then structural designs coordination, which in itself is within structural coordination itself, which is very important. There could be no discrepancy on drawings and designs. Building allied services coordination, all services that building is going to serve for, a building shall be served by electrical, civil, mechanical, plumbing, elevator, or services of CCTV, electronics, whatever else. There must be a lot of coordination, particularly electromechanical, should be a lot of coordination. And also electrical and all those low power systems. The meeting regulatory provisions, meeting regulatory provisions directly or through contractor, depending on contract provisions. Review all shop and working drawings produced by contractor, all disciplines, drawings, coordination, issue contractor raised queries, clarifications as and when necessary, approve resolution related to disciplinary clashes with other disciplines, site coordination with other professional vendors through contractor, for example HVAC, electrical loss prevention, access controls, security, elevator and escalator, electronics, security, vendor, etc. Conducting all site progress meetings, issuing minutes of progress meetings, reviewing contractor conducted subcontractors coordination meeting, technical and coordination meetings, there are other technical and coordination meetings, reviewing contractor submitted construction method statements and approving such method statements. To accomplish foregoing management activities, foregoing project organizational activities, scope ISO 9001-2015 very well support application for permits to operator of area for road diversion, which can be there, closure, cold and hot work permits, etc. To be applied with operated item. Then you can say all such operations shall be susceptible Let me repeat this before one that to accomplish following management activities scope ISO 9000:2015 variable support application for permits to operator of area for road diversion road closure, you can say road diversion, road closure, cold and hot for permits, etc. to be applied with and operated for all such works. All such operations may be susceptible to ensuring safety compliance under relevant management systems. All such operations shall be monitored, measured, evaluated, and placed in for further improvement in all cases. All our involved personnel shall be put into stream of safety training as and when required on site to be then you can say all such operations shall be monitored, measured, evaluated, and placed in for further improvement in all cases. All our involved personnel shall be put into stream of safety training as and when required on site to be conducted by experts. All our involved personnel shall be put in system training from time to time and would be required to update adopt this system and also requested to submit their experience based suggestions for improvement. You can say all persons shall be advised to understand whole system so as not to miss any activity in any branch of engineering. All personnel shall be advised to understand whole system so as not to miss any activity on supervision of gas. Then you can say leadership, clause 5. Leadership. It means actually there is no meaning in teaching leadership to engineers because they are born leaders. If they are not leaders, they can't be engineers, very frankly speaking. So, what does it include? This leadership and commitment, which is everywhere. If you are having leadership qualities, you are claiming your leader, then you should digest, you should commit something. Then you have to decide policy and organizational roles, responsibilities, and authorities. Then points for considerations. Emphasis on leadership, not just top management, but leadership is responsible and accountable. Now, emphasis, you can say organizational roles, responsibilities, and authorities, and points to be considered can be, or points, think of, you have to think of, right? Emphasis on leadership, not just top manager, but also. Also, you know, points that we should consider in leadership, which are very important point. That is emphasis on leadership. Emphasis on leadership, not just top management, but leadership is responsible and accountable. Top management organization has greater accountability and, involvement in scope of work. Then you can say, as we said, emphasis on leadership, not just top management. Leadership is responsible and accountable. Top management has greater accountability and involvement in organizational management system. Integrate requirement of management system into organization core business process, which is integration is required there. Ensure that management system allocates necessary response. Management system response is very friendly. Ensure management has been then you can say integrate requirement of management system into organizations core business process. Ensure that management system allocates necessary resources. Ensure management system management system serve experience and responsible to communicate importance of management system and ensure employees awareness and involvement. related to design, site controls, engineering, and approvals. Policy, policy device, policy, yes, So, if say in this case of, we can say all partners are heads and leaders of to their respective sections, such as designs, site controls, engineering, services, contracts, valuation, and approvals. Very important part. Policy devised by management and engineer. Then you can further move on to this very understanding part, that is that all partners are heads and letters to their respective sections, such as design, site controls, engineering, services, control, valuation, and roles. Managers, engineer. So you can say policy devised by management and leaders is that supervision work should be done right first time, every time. Very important, don't make mistakes. Whatever you do first time, do every time. Don't commit mistakes, don't be serious mistakes. This point is very important. We have to understand. And if you do not understand the point, you miss something reasonably or unreasonably. Then policy devised by management and leader is that supervision work. Supervision work go should be done right first time, every time. Supervision work should be allotted to right competent person only. And if right person is not available for certain specific job, either training should be given to personnel involved or work should be outsourced officially. Work should be effected in scheduled time with required degree of competency and acceptable compliance. Required attempt has to be made to do work error free to maximum extent feasible. Organization has devised various levels of positions such as top management, top management's extent feasible. Required attempt has been made. Uh, Then you can say work should be affected in scheduled time and with required degree of competency, acceptable compliance. Required attempt has to be made to do work error free to maximum possible extent or feasibility. Organization has devised various levels of positions such as top management, middle level, seniors, and detailed managing levels. Top management contributors are leaders in themselves to direct and guide all others located on site and off site. They require to provide vision to site organization. They require to keep all personnel all times motivated so that continuity of personnel is maintained on site. They directions. Uh, then you can say in this case uh, they require to keep all personnel all times motivated so that continuity of personnel is of the organization is always effective and consistently its objectives are achieved in all cases. They need not involve directly with details but involve with surveillance of all works. They need make sure that human and other resources required to meet site supervision operations are essential. When designs good, they need make sure that contractors mobilized all resources requirements in all artificial sessions. Then of course that they need to make sure that contractor mobilized all resources requirements in line to contract project schedule, and also before that they need to make sure that human and other resources required to meet site supervision operations are available at all times as and when necessary, either directly or indirectly. through contractor as case may be. They need to make sure that contractor is well. Then you can see they need to make sure that contract mobilized all resources, requirements in line to contract and project schedule. They need to ensure that all supervising personnel and all contractors personnel at all level know respective jobs activities, which must be produced in descriptive writing, be updated from time to time depending on the need of projects. They must understand that. So let us say they will ensure that all supervising personnel and all contractors personnel at all levels know respective job activities which must be produced in descriptive writing or in. We can say leaders have in all cases all time ensure that device management system is well monitored, evaluated and necessary improvement is inducted. They need ensure that all they need ensure that all all necessary information regarding system management is communicated to all personnel as and when necessary. Communication is leader ensure that all clients or prospective owners are well aware that organization has been complying with NEVER requirements and duty updated so that it be easier to participate in NEVER design bids to manage designs. Supervising management requires to conduct extent contractor site organization is concerned. Supervision management ensures that monthly or scheduled payment is put by contractor in process when due and after evaluation and scrutiny payments are forwarded for certification as payment certificates. Supervision management makes sure submit. I will take now. See you later on. I'm stopping.